Okay guys, this is a quick update review on this quad with the Mepsking parts that I used to build it. I just wanted to let you guys know how everything's holding up. I have put about 25 flats on this thing now. I've got a bunch of flat videos in there that I've made that I hadn't released yet. I didn't want to overload you guys. I've flown it about half on 4S and half on 6S, and I gotta say everything is holding up great. And I've had, I don't know how many crashes, probably 50, at least 50 if not more. I usually crash a couple of times during a flat, and some of them are pretty bad. Heck, I've crashed in the top of the tree out here in my front yard, and it fell all the way to the ground several times, and I knocked one big limb off big as my pinky. Just somehow or another it just sheared it right off from the tree. And I've knocked a couple of the props off several times, and the motors are still just as smooth as silk, guys. Matter of fact, let me go in there and stick it on Beta Flight in the motors tab. I'll plug everything up and turn the motors on, and you can listen to them and look at the graph and see how smooth they're still running. There's no little things in it, guys. I want you to look. I want you to look at just how smooth these motors still run. Look up here. Look at the line. There's no little squigglies in it at all. And I've done had so many crashes on this thing. I mean, these motors are awesome, guys. These motors are awesome. I mean, listen at them. They're smooth as silk. No lines at all. Now, to give you an update, to recap, what I used in this thing was a 20 by 20 45 amp with a 50 amp burst ESC. It's a darn good ESC. And the flight controller I used is a F7 Mini 20 by 20. It's an HD and analog flight controller with a black box log and everything you need. And man, it's got the processing power. This thing flies. I mean, it goes right where you point it. It's smooth. No jitters. It's one of the best ones I've ever used. And I used the Meps 2207 1750 kV motors. The motors are a little bit weak for 4S and a little bit too powerful for 6S to me. I had to put a motor limit on it to knock it down a little bit, but it needs to be a little higher kV for 4S. But you can get away with it if you'll run higher pitched props. I started out using the 4942 Meps props, these right here, and they worked great on 6S or even 5S when I motor limited it down. They worked great, and they really work good on this drone, because I want you guys to look at how close a 51 prop comes to the frame on this drone. You see that screw right there where the prop goes? You see how close that is? It almost touches it. And I've cut I don't know how many battery straps from using the 6S battery on this thing, and the props get into the battery strap and cut the strap. But with these props you don't have that problem, and they're so lightweight they spin up and down real quick. But for the low kV motors that I've got on here, the 1750, they're not quite high enough pitch. So, but I can't say enough good things about the Meps parts, guys. They're great. So, but anyway, you guys know I've got this aluminum drone, this AT6 Ken FPV aluminum drone. I don't have it down here with me. I'll show you a picture of it up here. It's built out with an old Mamba F4 flight controller that don't have the processing power to fly great. I mean, it does okay, but it's not real smooth like this drone at all. And it's got Zing 2207 1750 kV motors on it. I'm running it on 4S, and the motors are so high kV, and the bearing is going bad in them, makes all kind of noise. But the batteries, the 4S batteries that I run on it, come down to screaming hot just after like a minute of flight time, because the kV is so high. There's just pulling too many amps out of them, and I have so much sag that it makes the drone fly weak, even with those motors on it. So I have asked Meps to send me a set of Cayenne Blue 1900 kV motors to go on it like I've got on this one. These are 1750. I wanted to go up a little bit so I can run 4S on that other one, and I can still run 6S on it even with the 1900 kV motors on it. I'll just put a motor limit on it when I run 6S. And I also asked them to send me some 50. They got some more props like this, but they're 5145. This one here is a 4942. The other one is 5145, so it's 2 millimeters longer on the tips, and it'll have a little higher pitch. So I think that's going to work out great with those 1900 kV motors. So we'll be reviewing that and testing it when I do that. I have also asked them, in that aluminum drone, I've also got a Talon 35 amp all-in-one ESC, and it done great for a long time, but eventually I blowed one of the corners on the ESC, and I had to stick just a single ESC on it, and it's back flying fine, but it just doesn't have the control like this one does. When you point this one, it goes right where you point it. If you want to go through a gap, you know, you point it there, it's going through that gap. That other one feels loose. It feels like I got latency. I don't know. I think it's that F4 flight controller is not, you know, it's so old, and I can only run 4S on it. So I have asked them to send me another another F7 flight controller like I have in this one, and also a 45 amp mini ESC. I want to build my other drone exactly like this one. Just make it all Meps parts, and then I believe I'll have 2 awesome quads. And if they do that, I'm going to make a build video and all those other review videos like I did on the other, and let you guys watch me build it. And I'm going to print a bunch of nice TPU parts for it and clean up the aluminum, make it all shiny again. So, you know, that quad is completely aluminum. It's kind of a one of a kind. There ain't hardly another drone out there like it. And it's my other 3D drone. And it's like this one, you can't hardly break it. And it slashes through the air better because the arms are thinner, but it's just as strong because it's aluminum. But guys, I don't know if they're going to send me all that stuff or not yet. And if they do, they may piece it out over several months, and so it may be a long time before you get those reviews. If you ever do, I don't know. But I already know they're going to send me the blue motors, the Cayenne motors, the 1950 motors to go on it. So, but even with those motors on, without the other parts, I don't think I'm going to have the same flight characteristics that I do with this one. So I'm hopeful they'll send me that stuff. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to give you an update. I've never been happier. I am so glad I hooked up with Meps. They've been really good to me, guys. And I'm telling you, go on their webpage, find their parts, and order what you need, guys. They've got everything you need as far as electronics goes for flight controllers, ESCs, motors, things like that, props. And they're no more expensive than any of the other folks out there. And the wait time is going to be like an extra week to get you parts is all. It's usually about 13 days to get you parts. So guys, that's not bad at all. I mean, golly. Now, I do have an affiliate link down below called Mepsking. Just click on that, and anything you buy, it will help support my channel. But other than that, I'm not. I don't have any contracts with them or anything like that. I can tell you, if anything's going bad, I'll let you know. It's not. I'm telling you guys, I have never been more happy with the Mepsking parts. So guys, say a little prayer for me that Mepsking sends me the other parts I need for the aluminum drone, and I will make you some awesome more review videos. Alright guys, have a great day.